what's up? This is Chosen, and this video is going to be covering a few things. We're going to go over the Discord post from the community manager, Valkyrie, and bring some context to that. And then we're also going to go over some of the Doom Tower leak type stuff that has been coming out in the community. I'm going to let you know what I know so far and try to bring some context to that as well, and kind of walk you through all the different sources of leaks that are going on within different Discord servers and people doing videos and Reddit and all sorts of different things out there. I'm going to do my best to walk you through kind of what I know so far. So let's get into it. Alrighty, so first let's go ahead and pull up and read through this post together here. We have got Valkyrie saying, hey guys, I won't read this word for word. I'm going to skim through kind of the important stuff and get through this quickly for you. Okay, basically she's saying it's not time to post the community update from the devs where they go over what they're working on, but it's good to give some shout out and talk about some stuff here. So yesterday with the server reload, we implemented several changes that should improve the game life quality and make some high-level challenges a little bit easier to complete. So first of all, Faction Wars rebalance. Based on the community feedback and our internal analysis, we rebalanced several Faction Wars stages to make them more balanced and enjoyable. From now, you will have more chances to complete Faction Wars and get one of the most awesome champions in the game, Lydia the Death Siren. So Lydia is the reward for completing Faction Wars, getting all 819 stars in Faction Wars. I have covered her extensively as a champion. I've got tons of dedicated videos on Lydia, so we don't really need to talk about that in this video. But what I can tell from my testing and talking to people within the community is Faction Wars seems to be about 15% easier. Runs that used to take me 2 minutes are now taking about a minute 35, minute 40. So it does feel significant. So what they did basically was they lowered the level. So like at the boss was always level 280. Now it's 250. So they bumped it down 30 levels. What this does is it basically changes the base stats of the opponents you're going up against. They also changed the waves as well. So it basically means they have less attack, HP, and defense. The level is there to scale up the base stats to help them be tougher and tougher as you go. And so the speeds shouldn't really be affected by the champions you're going up against, but their base stats, they should be hitting a little bit weaker, and they should have a little bit less toughness. It definitely felt impactful from my testing, so I think it's a good thing in general for the community. I did a poll live on stream, and 85% of people were liking the Faction Wars changes so far. So I think that'll be a good thing in general. And then also one interesting part of that is I haven't tested this one yet because I'm trying to get this video out as soon as I can for you guys. But I'm hearing from people that bosses in stages like 7 and 14, there's 3 boss fights, 7, 14, and 21. We're hearing that for some factions down in those earlier boss fights at 7 and 14, there are no ads with the boss, and where the boss does have ads at stage 21. Not for every faction, but for some factions, they've made it a little bit easier in terms of ads not being there for the boss. So I think all in all, this should all be pretty good stuff for the community as a whole. But then Valkyrie goes on to say, we have also implemented some fixes to prevent boosting abuse in Classic Arena, particularly in the Platinum League, which is obviously the only place that boosting really seems to be a problem. Okay, then we want the competition to be honest and fair. Please monitor the situation. So hey, it doesn't give us any details. We haven't seen an arena reset yet since this post. So hey, I'm always game for updating changes to make the system reflect fair play. So that's all good. And then we've also got Valkyrie going on to say, now let's talk about what lies ahead. Some long-awaited changes are coming soon. Talking about artifact sets rebalance. Guys, this is huge. Let me pull up the artifact set tier list that I do. This is actually a pretty big deal. So when I scroll through this artifact set thing here, a lot of these sets are completely worthless. Like, you only keep gear that is perfect. And then I can't think of any champion that I've ever used. Destroy, Cursed, Curing, and a lot of these sets down at the bottom. I need to actually bump up resistance a lot. Now, I'm actually figuring this out live. I need to do an update to my tier list. Resistance is a lot more valuable than I have it there. So I will get that up to date. But yeah, hey, this is great news. I've since day one, I mean, all the sets in the game are exactly how they were when the game was released, I think, or at least since I started playing, and I started playing pretty early. So this is really good news. There's too many sets that are way too niche, and people are disappointed when they drop and don't really have incentive to collect them. So I am all for some set rebalancing and bumping up some of these crap sets to make them a little bit more usable. Just a couple examples off the top of my head. The Toxic set should be the big version of Poison, not the baby 2.5, especially if it's going to be a 4-piece set. You want to make it a 2-piece set and make it the baby 2.5 version, okay, but a 4-piece of Poison should be the 5% Poison. So it's absurd that it's not. That's like one I can think of off the top of my head. Keyring needs to be a lot more impactful than it is. I could go on and I could do a whole separate video for 30 minutes on some set rebalancing ideas, but all in all, I wanted you guys to know set rebalance is coming, and it's going to be a good thing. I hope they pull it off right, because it'll make the game a lot more interesting in terms of the gear pieces that are going on champions. But we need more artifact space, especially if they're going to make more sets good. We need more artifact space. I know all of you are struggling out there when you get to the end game of what to keep and trashing good gear that you wish you could keep. So I really hope we bump it up from 700 to 1,000, and I hope they're making optimizations for the server to be able to handle that, so we can all hold on to more gear and not have to cut all these good pieces that we don't want to let go. But Valkyrie continues to say, and of course, we're working on a bunch of brand new champions that are coming on Christmas, and we will hope that you will like them. Okay, so yeah, we've been kind of hearing from Plarium for a while that there's going to be one of those fusions where they release a bunch of new champions and it fuses into a special Christmas legendary that they're going to release, and then all the champions are going to be brand new, introduced to the game, and they'll have all sorts of events to acquire these champions and incentivize you to pull shards to acquire them to speed up the process and all that type of stuff. You know the drill from the Vergamcar fusion. It was really designed like that. It was all new champions that you could acquire through certain events, and then you fused up to the top reward of Vergamcar. So it looks like they're going to be repeating that exact same thing that we had with Vergamcar with whatever this Christmas champion is that they're going to be releasing here for the holiday season. We don't really have any information on that for you today. We just know that's going to be coming. It's going to be similar to the Vergamcar fusion event. But now let's move on to the Doom Tower part of the video and talk about some of the stuff that I wanted to go through quickly for you guys. New sets, set rebalancing. We already talked about the rebalancing stuff during the Discord post reading, but yeah, there's supposedly going to be some new sets launching soon, and one of them is going to be attack plus crit rate. That'll be cool. I'm assuming it'll be similar to the Perception, where we're getting blending of two different kind of like artifact sets. We blended the speed and the accuracy set, where the Perception gives you 40 accuracy and then some speed to boot. I think it's like 5%. So this will probably be like 10% attack and 8% crit rate or something. I mean, I'm guessing. We don't know for sure, so I don't want to throw you off or anything, but some sort of blend of attack and crit rate, which I think will be a fun offense set. That'll be a cool addition. Then we've got res and block debuff, so some sort of set you'll be able to equip that's a 4-piece set probably, where it'll give you like 40% resistance and extra 20% chance to automatically resist your opponent placing a debuff on you. I think that'll be fun to play around with and be really good in the arena. And then we've also got crit rate and weak to crit. So maybe some of you guys don't know if you're newer, but when you are a weak affinity, so let's say you're a magic affinity champion attacking a force affinity champion, if you hit that champion weak, it's not going to crit. That's why it can be pretty devastating to try to do damage against the weak affinities that you're going up against. So what this is going to do is help mitigate the fact that you are going up against an affinity. So I guess where this could maybe help is in the clan boss. You've got a really ironed out clan boss team, an unkillable or something, and you slap a bunch of weak to crit on there to get a little bit of extra damage on your keys or something. But all in all, I mean, it looks pretty niche. Then we've got freeze resistance. So I guess this is going to be a super niche like arena set in terms of how the game is structured right now. But in the Doom Tower, remember, we're going to have a lot of new things probably coming to the game. So maybe there's going to be bosses and secret rooms and stuff where it's just a ton of freeze. And the freeze is very oppressive. So this freeze resistance gear might be really good in these scenarios. So we could see some situations where this is really good in the Doom Tower and also really good to build like an anti-Torment team or something. So yeah, that's the 4 kind of new set leaks that I know of anyway. Let me know down in the comments if you know of any more besides those. Then in terms of the Doom mechanics, just in general, as you can see on the screen there, it's going to be 120 floors, 12 secret rooms, so about every 10 stages. And then you're also going to have the 11 mini-bosses and the 1 final boss. And then we're going to have 2 difficulties, normal and hard. That's not really a leak. We've known that for a long time. It's a little bit being leaked that it could be once a month type of thing, where you get as high as you can in the Doom Tower, you get your ranking amongst the players and the clans, and then it resets for the next month or something. I hope that'd be I think that would be good if it was a monthly thing, that it's a grind for a month and then it resets maybe after a couple days off or something. So I think that looks pretty good. Then we've got rankings for players and clans. It looks like it is going to rank you individually as a player. Maybe you'll be placed in different groups similar to like the dungeon tournaments or something, we don't know yet. And also your clan, it'll stack you up maybe similar to the current system in the game, where it ranks you like in the top 1,000. It'll show you where you rank, so it'll show you kind of how you stack up against all the other clans in the game in terms of your progress in the Doom Tower. So all that's pretty cool. It'll be another fun mechanic to get in there and test out and see how you're doing. And then you'll have to clear to at least floor 10 to be part of the rankings, is something that's been leaked as well. And it's also going to have keys similar to Faction Wars, where Faction Wars has the keys, but it doesn't have two separate ones. It looks like the Doom Tower will have gold keys that you will need to attempt a boss fight, and then silver keys will be used to farm stages that you've already cleared. So it looks like the lock for progression is going to be gold keys, and the lock for farming is going to be silver keys, or at least that's how I'm understanding it as everything sits currently. We've also got secret rooms. There's going to be 12 of them. That's actually not a leak. It is stated right there in the game teaser. We're going to have 12 secret rooms. Now, the interesting part is these are going to have different mechanics to them. You can see here I've got it written: affinity only champions, rarity only champions, faction only champions, base stat only champions. So you'll only be able to use champions that scale off of like HP, attack, defense. That's a rumor out there. And then also stat affinity combo. So you'll only be able to use like attack, spirit champions or something, or you know, force, HP champions. Now if it's those type of rooms, that's going to get really tough. I hope they don't do more than like one of those, and I hope it's a little bit easier, because that's going to be a really tough one for players to go ahead and complete. So yeah, and then in terms of the affinity only, that's like only using magic affinity champions. I think that's fair. Rarity only champions, only uncommons, only rares, only epics. I doubt they'll go so far as to do only legendaries. That would be a pretty rough parameter. And then faction only, we already know that. We already have faction wars teams that we're working on, so that's a mechanic that's not really new to the game, but it sounds like they'll have a couple secret rooms that are faction locked. I think the interesting one is the rarity one. So we are getting some pretty confirmed leaks that there's going to be at least one secret room where you can only use uncommons. Now I do have a video where I go over the top 10 uncommons in my opinion. I'll try to remember to link that up there, so there's a card. So you may want to focus on during one of these champion training events or something, leveling up some uncommons, and they're pretty cheap to get in the market and get out of mystery shards and get their abilities maxed out. You may want to get some 5 stars at least, so that you've got something to get after in the Doom Tower in case there is an uncommon room. And if there's not, it's not going to cost you a whole lot. Those uncommon champions are pretty cheap. So yeah guys, that's going to kind of do it for what I wanted to cover in this video. I just wanted to get something out there. I've been waiting on this like a week or two, trying to see what comes out in the community and what leaks are kind of being thrown at us, and then just do one video where I kind of wrap up everything that we know as of now. And if you're curious, if you haven't heard of my previous videos, the Doom Tower is supposed to come to the main game somewhere in between December 10th and December 20th. That's what we're hearing right now, is mid-December, so I would expect it anytime in that 10-day window, December 10th to December 20th. In terms of what we know right now, that is the expected release date of the Doom Tower. So yeah, as always guys, thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.